What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TheKisscapadesPodcast. So, here's the thing. Yesterday, I was just at home chilling, and then I got this DM from this amazing lady who has, like, I don't know how I can describe it, but anyway, long story short, she was supposed to deliver the cookies today, and since my guest is not yet here, I think I'm just going to do like a shameless plug and talk about her business. So, have a seat. Let's do this.
Go. That's for you.
Woohoo! So she delivered. So I'm like, let's see. Dear the Kiss Bandit, please enjoy a selection of our cookies. Ooh, okay. So she delivered the cookies. Anyway, so let's start with your name, because this is just like one of those shameless plugs, so we have to wing it and just get the best out of it.
Yep.
And I was also intrigued with just how you're doing your social media and everything, so just tell people your name and what you do
Okay.
before we proceed.
Hi, my name's Samantha, and I'm the founder of Crumble&co. So Crumble&co was a company that I created about 6 weeks ago.
6 weeks ago?
Yeah, it's been wild.
Okay.
And the whole concept behind Crumble&co is combining life's guilty pleasures, which to me are cookies, and a glass of milk. I've pimped out the milk a bit, and I've got different flavors of milk, and I give them like little milk shots that go with the cookies.
Yeah.
And it's just been a really fun process, and people have been loving the idea because it's so different and so niche, and it's one thing. We only sell cookies and we only sell milk. So
Do you have a place stationed where you do this?
we actually do not. So what I have is a cookie cart, and I did my first launch at K1 Clubhouse Flea Market on Sundays. So I'm there every 2 weeks, and I do delivery, so I'm baking from home, got a rider, sending them out to people's houses, and that's what we've been doing for the past 6 weeks. Yeah.
At least you've I was actually asking her yesterday, like, the person or the rider who you're going to send, but she actually drove all the way from...
I had to.
Where is it?
Loresho. Pretty far.
To bring me this box of homemade cookies. So, just like trying to get to what made you get into cookies.
Yeah.
Why cookies?
Everybody
else is doing like maybe beauty products, makeup tutorials,
Yeah.
this and that. Yeah. So what made you go the cookie
I've
direction?
never been a girly girl when you talk about makeup and beauty stuff like that. So that's never been an interest for me. From a very young age, I was really, really interested in food. Food has always been my passion. Like, baking is genuinely my blood. My grandfather owned a bakery, and
I love such stories. Thank you.
Thank you. And he actually supplied bread to the whole of Eldoret. And he moved away from that later on in his life, but I think that has always been, embedded in me and what I'm about. And I've always loved food. I've loved sweet things. I've grown up around it, and I just love it. And I was like, I need to put this into something real and something that can get me up out of bed every morning.
Something that you're passionate about, and you actually and so that it doesn't seem like it's work when you're doing
Exactly.
it. Wow, and not a lot of people have those. A lot of people wake up in the morning and go to these jobs that they don't even want to be in.
Yeah.
But some just because of course they have to make ends meet.
Yeah.
But that's a very interesting background that your grandpa had a bakery in Eldoret.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you are actually Kenyan, right?
Yes, I'm Kenyan. People always ask me, but I am
Where did you go to school?
Right, I went to school in England.
Okay, that explains a lot. So I won't ask so many questions. But that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So I think maybe after clearing like high school, or how would I call it? That's when you came back and...
No, so I actually did all of high school in England, did my university there, and then I did my postgraduate diploma.
Oh shit! What did you study?
I'm a lawyer.
Hey! I like this.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
You're actually a lawyer.
Yeah.
Listen, I need a lot of help with my papers and stuff, so I
Okay.
think I
Call
need
me.
friends like you.
Yeah, I think you do. And look at this. We're making friendships.
And funny thing, the people who know me from another like different world dimension and stuff, my nickname somewhere is Cookie.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, this is a match made in heaven.
I said, there's some people, like, if they hear all this story, I'll just be laughing. But they know. Some people call me Cookie. That's my nickname as well.
That is amazing.
It's crazy. So, you studied law, right? Just a quick question as well, like I can throw there. Did you go to Kenya School of Law?
No, I haven't done Kenya School of Law. So, I came back from England in December, and I've been doing job
last year.
Yeah, last year. So I've been back for a few months, and I've been doing job applications. My main hope is actually to go back to England for 5 years maximum, do some legal work there.
For 5 years?
Yeah, maximum.
Okay.
Come back, because Kenya's home. I want to settle back here.
Now here's the thing. So you want to start off this company, tease us with these nice cookies that you're making on your own, and then fly back to England?
I'm not teasing you.
Is that what we're doing?
I'm building an empire.
Because once I have these, first of all, like the package and everything, I have to give you props. So,
thank you.
Like, this is really, really
Thank you.
impressive. Like, I just was expecting, like, some cookies thrown in, like some paper bag or something, and then, but this is really nice, the presentation. I haven't even seen the cookies yet, but I'll get to that.
Oh, we will.
And I think I'll do like a whole unboxing thing on.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do
Thank
something
you.
nice for you.
Thank you.
So, is this what you'd ideally want to do, like full-time, maybe after you've done your law, or this is something that you want to do, like, okay, maybe when I'm pursuing law, this is something I'm also doing on the side because I'm passionate about it?
So
how do you want to go about it?
For right now, it's a side. It's for right now, it's my main thing because I haven't got that legal job.
Yeah.
But what I'm working towards is actually creating a company that can function, and I'm already in the process of looking at locations. I'm moving very quickly, considering it's only been 6 weeks. But you have to think like that, especially in a world like this today. You've got to move quickly.
Are you doing it alone, or are you getting assistance from, like, do you have like a rich boyfriend, a sponsor? I'm just trying to ask because I have to ask these questions because, you see, the thing is when people see like all these entrepreneurs like on my platform, they're just trying to figure out how they're doing their thing. How is it possible for them to do A, B, C, and D?
Yeah, so the first thing is, before I left England, I did a lot of temp jobs. So I did waitressing,
what are those?
Working in cocktail bars.
And I want people to understand this. Like, there are actually like really hard-working women out there. And you see, it's all about, like, let me not interrupt you. Let's just go with that. Let's just go with it.
Yeah, so I did a lot of waitressing jobs, bar jobs, a lot of different things. Like, it's easy in England to get jobs like that, and it can be fun, and it was a great thing to do. So I did that for about 4 months, saved, came back home because I had no idea what I was going to do when I came back home. And I was like, I want to come back home with a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And I've used quite a large proportion of that money to put into business, and I've had a bit of help from my parents. Not a bit, I've had a lot of help from my parents. Not even financial, just like my cookie cart. My dad made that. Making deliveries, my mum helps with that. It's been family support.
I hope deadbeat dads are listening to this.
Oh God.
Yeah, but I know it makes so much sense. It doesn't have to be financial, but just them being there and just telling you, like, like even just your dad making it just gives it a whole different meaning. Yeah,
it really does. Like they've supported me on a whole other level, and I couldn't have done this without them.
How is it going so far?
It's going really well. I didn't expect this. From the launch, it was just...
You did a launch?
Yeah, I did a launch.
I'm disappointed.
I'm so sorry.
So I wasn't called during the official launch?
I'm sorry.
Okay, what made you think of like just reaching out to me?
Well, funny you say that. I actually saw you with Concrete Roses.
Ooh,
yeah.
Shout out to Concrete Roses. Hey, they're the plug.
Yeah, they did my logo. And yeah. So
they did my iTunes cover for the podcast.
I know, it looks really good. So I had to
Suhan, Kesha,
you're the plug.
Big shout out. Yeah, so
So I saw you on their page. I saw the stuff that you guys were doing. I'd actually seen you on a previous friend's post, Throw Throws Down.
Yeah.
And I've just been connecting dots, and I was like, why didn't I reach out?
Also, you're also friends with her as well?
Yeah, went to Leeds with her. It's a small world.
Throw Throws Down, shout out to you.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Here's the thing, I keep telling people that since I started the podcast, I'm meeting these really amazing people who are self-driven. They're talking about entrepreneurship. just life goals and all these things in general, because I think just from people like you and people like you, I mean black people like you.
Oh, whoops.
No, anyway, that's a stupid joke. So anyway, I'm just saying that, the whole climate in Kenya is slightly different if you haven't been fortunate enough to study overseas and just understand, like, you can actually start working at a very early age and creating that independence. So just having people on this platform who are like self-driven, they're talking about saving up money. People don't even save money. Young people don't save money to start off businesses. They're either trying their luck with something like Sport Pesa, rich boyfriend, sponsor, or now your parents. And even if your parents have the money to give to you to start the business, it's not the same if you don't understand entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So it's just a breath of fresh air featuring like people like you who are coming up with the business and stuff. So what's like the projection for this year?
Well,
what are we planning this year? What are we planning this year?
Well, this year I want to become a household name. So let's just start with that. And I want to be at the coolest, funnest events in Kenya. Bridal showers, weddings, bachelorette parties, engagement parties. I want to be there. And I want people to be like, oh, we're having an event. Crumble&co. That's where I want to be.
I mean, I don't even know where to start, because we were just talking like just yesterday, and I'm thinking that your episode might air before Concrete Roses.
Oh Lord.
Because I've shot so much content for like almost 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
But I think it would apply because, yes, it's something that's random but very organic. And how soon are you planning to leave the country? Let's start with that.
Oh gosh, no, we've got time. Don't worry.
Oh, you're around?
Yeah,
for the whole year you're here?
Oh yeah.
Then that's good. Then that's a good thing. So back to the year's projection. You've said to be in all the best parties, bridal showers and everything. But what about if picks up and like the demand is super high? What happens then?
Yeah, so this is
because I'm guessing
a dilemma that I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Like I just have moments where I'm like, this is so amazing, this is great, and then I'm like, but if this is too great, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
It's a constant battle, and I know
Have
people
you
be
thought
like,
about that?
yeah, I have a lot. I know people are like, that's a nice problem to have, but I'm open to whatever happens, and I'm not stuck and set in any sort of idea of how my life is going to be, because I think that really, it makes you miss out on things. If you're going to be like, I'm doing this, always be open for your plan changing.
Yeah, to change. And life just hits you in so many different ways. You might be planning this and then you're forced actually to go a different route. So, I mean, this is just too interesting because, I meet people with so many different businesses.
Yeah.
And I always have way too many questions, but I'll keep throwing them at you.
Please do.
So, what would you say was the hardest bit of just, sitting down and actually, what are like the hurdles you've gone through?
Yeah.
Within the 6 months before, like now I can see you have a smile on your face because any entrepreneur knows it's always crazy.
I'm just going to correct you there. It's 6 weeks.
Oh, wait. It's not 6 months. It's 6 weeks. My apologies.
No, so yeah, it's even
6 weeks.
crazier.
Yeah.
I'm still at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think.
So what are the hurdles? What are the little hardships that you've come across as you doing this?
I think the first thing is actually believing in yourself to begin.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the hardest things to.
Self-doubt.
Yeah, self-doubt. Wondering, like, for example, I've said like my goal is to go to England, and when I came up with this idea I was like, am I just doing it to fill my time, or am I doing it because I'm really passionate about it? So I think that's the first thing. You have to actually believe in yourself and want to go full force and execute your plan to the best way you can do it. And I think that's first of all the hardest thing. And I think the second thing is reaching out to people and making people aware of your brand. So I remember at the beginning you actually asked me how I'm on social media and how I'm doing with that.
Yeah.
So I'm very particular about my brand and how I want it to look. I hope you've noticed.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, I don't know what you mean. Please explain that.
So I wanted an Instagram page that when people went on it, they kind of got what I was about, like clean images, fun, cute. It is a very girly brand.
Yeah.
I will have to say that.
That I noticed. And that's why I was like really confused, because I'm seeing a lot of pink and I'm like, I'm not sure they've seen like the kind of person that I am.
You are,
but
yeah.
I'm very open-minded. So I was like,
Exactly.
remember even when you told me that if you like the cookies, please, we don't mind a tag. I was like, I was gonna do it anyway, regardless. Yeah, but I was just trying to engage with you to see the kind of person you are.
Yeah,
like,
that's
cool peeps.
Thanks.
Yeah. So I mean, before I interrupted you, you were saying
it's a very girly brand.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something quickly about that. I met somebody the other day who told me, he was a guy and he was dressed in a pretty cool, like long dress, hat kind of thing. And we got talking. And
Say what? I'm playing.
No
I'm playing. No.
And he told me, you know what? Femininity doesn't diminish your masculinity. And I was like, word.
No, but I'm not putting on a dress.
I'm not telling you to put on a dress.
This is always a debate that goes back to, like Eddie Murphy and Hollywood.
Yeah.
And it's a whole other door that we would be opening. But I get what you're saying. Like, if you're comfortable doing it.
Yeah. So I'm saying the pink should not deter the men from the brand. It is a very cutesy, girly brand, but I'm trying to say it's for everyone. At the end of the day, we're serving cookies. Just because they come in pink boxes doesn't mean the men should be put off.
No, I love this. I can gladly receive packages that look like this every single day.
Exactly.
This is really. I just hope I'm not mixing them inside.
Oh, you're not. Don't worry.
Them up.
Don't worry.
So, what kind of? We've just talked about a bit of. Have we talked about the hurdles though?
Well, we did the first hurdle, believing in yourself.
Yeah.
Second hurdle, I think, is just creating a brand.
Or just visibility.
And how you put things together, and I think, knowing what the crowd and what people will want. So I think it's been difficult kind of reading people in a sense and knowing what they like what kind of pictures appeal to them and will get the most clicks kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And creating things that are engaging and people...
I think you're at a very good part. If Concrete Roses is part of it, if you've included me as part of it, you have no idea.
Then we're going to go places.
Yeah. But how is it? Okay, another question. That is just because, when you sent me a message, I'm always trying to what's this person all about? That's when I came now to the whole pink theme and all these other things.
Oh.
You're scared of bees?
I'm not.
Okay. Cool. So, I was just trying to figure out how what? Oh my God. How does my chain of thought just skip from that? We were talking about, since you have Concrete Roses on your side, you've reached out to me and everything. Like, what kind of feedback are you getting? Like, just from people? Like,
well...
Because I'm guessing you have to reach out to a lot of different people and just try and be grounded and see who's working with who, what's what, and where your kind of brand falls in.
I think the feedback that I've been getting from influencers in Kenya has been unbelievable.
Amazing.
Honestly, I have not had a single person that's been rude, ignored my messages, left me on red. Everyone has been so amazing and has replied literally within 24 hours, which I think is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Everyone's been really excited, which is what I want. I want people to be excited about the brand and excited about receiving a box of cookies.
Yeah. And then, how comes, were you finished with your sentence? Because a lot of people keep telling me that you're always interrupting your guest, and I'm like, I'm still getting used to, and I'm new to this as well.
Yeah.
But I've done it so many times, so I also have to be conscious about when I'm interrupting someone.
Don't worry, go for it.
But another thing that I've noticed is that, because I was just going through your Instagram, I noticed you haven't put your face anywhere in there.
Yeah, that's...
And that's the thing. When you came here, when you just saw me, I was like, is this my first guest or my second guest? So I was like, so I saw the box and then I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, it's a cookie.
But I was still confused.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But how comes you don't want to, is that a thing that you've done
it's
intentionally or
no.
just...
It's actually
just
happened. I'm actually in the process of creating like what happens in the kitchen video. And I think that's going to have me and actually explaining a bit more about my brand and a little bit like this actually, but just in the kitchen with me baking, you know, doing my thing. But I think I wanted it to be like before then.
At least for people to like the product first before they even go to just liking you.
Exactly. Before they know me as Crumble&Co, I want them to know Crumble&Co.
Crumble&co, yeah. But the thing is, like, you have a really nice personality. And I think right now, for anybody, personal brands are very important. Yes, a brand can be good on its own, but if you, like, include that personality, it's like a plus, because that's how Kylie got to.
I know.
I mean, that's where that's.
You say I'm gonna be the next Kylie.
Hey, listen.
Hey, amen.
Listen. I believe in you. Why shouldn't you believe in yourself?
I do now.
Hey. So yeah, that's really important as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, have you seen who inspired this? Apart from like just your grandpa and like the bakery and the cooking history and everything in your childhood, who else like just gave you like that motivation? Is there somebody you saw abroad, maybe in the UK, doing the business this kind of way, and you decided like, you know what, this might actually work back at home?
Yeah, there's very many bakeries in England that are very particular, and I think that's something that I picked up on instantly. And I was like, you don't have to do it all, because I feel like sometimes people think, okay, I'm going to open a bakery, I have to have cakes, I have to have cupcakes, I have to have cookies, I have to have biscuits.
Yeah.
And that's overwhelming.
Yeah.
I think I'd be sitting here being a very different person if I'd gone and started doing all of that.
And one person is just asking for maybe want like 15 cookies, and then somebody else wants
a whole cake,
and
another one wants like a 3-tiered cake. It's overwhelming. So when I saw that in England, I was like, it can work very well if you stick to one thing and you perfect it. So I thought, what do I like? What do I love? And I love cookies. What goes well with cookies? Milk. And that's literally how it was born. It took me one afternoon to really sit down and be like, what would I want to bring and what would I want to create and give people in Kenya? And it came to me almost effortlessly. And then I ran the idea by my family and they were so excited. And just seeing that, I was like, this is something I can actually do.
Do you have siblings?
I do. Yeah.
Are you a firstborn, lastborn?
Oh, I'm the baby.
You're the lastborn?
Yeah, can't you tell?
No, the lastborn is like always the one who's like, you know, chilled out, because like all the other grown-ups are doing their thing.
It's true.
I can always get assistance from this person and this person. But what just drives you to like that independency? Because I mean, I've also noticed like a really nice theme in a lot of my female guests. Like they're very self-driven. Very self-driven. That to some point it's a bit scary.
Don't be intimidated.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, I feel like men are losing their purpose right now.
Ooh.
I've only had like 3 men guests out of 25 episodes. And I can just see like how women are talking about, like, you know, I wake up in the morning at 5, I meditate, and then at 6 I start doing my numbers for my business and everything. But just what makes you be that self-driven? And even just because even for you to just try and attempt something like this, it just means you have like a certain drive. And that's how you approach life. Like even maybe in your law, and you have a law degree, man. Jesus Christ. And I was explaining this to somebody else. The best thing about the podcast, like, I meet all these amazing and different people, right?
Yeah.
But then again, now it means I just can't deal with stupid people anymore.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because everybody who comes here, like, they have so much that they're doing and just how they're focused on what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then another, just heading to a really nice question that might be relevant to you and definitely might apply. With all, like, that's going on, like, on social media, does that ever get to you? Because, like, let's say when you're starting a business and then you see somebody else has these kind of numbers, they have this kind of business, and it's blooming, it's big, or some of your friends have started this and it's like blown up and everything, and you're just starting off. Does that like get in your head, or how do you stay away from that and just say like, you know what, I have small numbers, but I'll just keep growing them organically and reaching out, just taking the process like slowly?
I think the first thing is you have to be very confident in yourself and your brand, because if you aren't, you're going to start doubting yourself, you're going to have breakdowns, you're going to be looking at numbers, and you're going to be looking at likes, and you're going to be constantly refreshing. I do admit at the beginning, you know, when you gave the...
Did it get to you at some point?
It didn't get to me, but at the beginning, when I put out my first post, I was there. Refreshing. Okay, yeah, we're at 50. Okay, yeah, we're going, you know, like that kind of thing. And you have to distance yourself from that, and you have to remember what you're there for. You're there for the brand. So I've actually put like limits on my phone right now.
Really? How?
Time limits, like from 6 p.m, Instagram is off.
From 6 p.m. you don't check your Instagram?
No.
Oh, you sent me a message after 6
Okay,
p.m.
I actually... I ignored my limit yesterday because for good reason. I was delivering my influencer boxes today, so I needed to speak to people. But I thought that that's like a good way of just, you know, shutting off and not being so wrapped up in that Insta social media world, because you can literally be glued to your phone and forget
even the first reason why you were checking Instagram.
Exactly. In terms of getting to me, not really, because everyone has been so positive, and people that I meet, they're like, you've been doing this for 6 weeks, like this is so amazing. I think that helps.
I think it's insane, first of all, because you know the funny thing with me is like I'm always like, I always have that eye for something that's special, and even just when you reached out and I saw the messages like, this is really interesting. And then of course I saw Kesha and in your pictures I was like, I'm like, this is something that's definitely unique, and just as long as you approach it the right way. Because I think a lot of people are always desperate for immediate, like, you know, projection. But I think what you've mentioned is like, as long as you're focused on what your goal is and you keep just striving towards it, that's all you need.
That's literally all I want to do.
Okay, when it comes to social media, how many other platforms do you think are necessary for you to push your business in particular? Not just in general, but yours for the Cookie&Co.
For me, currently, I just think Instagram.
Oh, it's Crumble&co. My apologies.
That's okay.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. For now, I do think Instagram is the main driver. That's actually stuck on it. So Crumble&co. I think for now, Instagram is the main thing for me. I've always been a bit wary of Facebook.
What? Why?
Yeah. I think I just lost my passion for Facebook a long time ago.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
As an entrepreneur, as long as you're using social media, every platform will just open doors that you'll be surprised with. Like, even with my podcast, like, can you believe that my Facebook audience is completely different from like my Instagram, and my YouTube also completely different. Like, it's so crazy and unique at the same time. Because think about it this way, like Will Smith and Jada, when did they launch their Red Top table? Facebook. And how is it doing?
Very well.
Exactly. Like, you cannot ignore. Plus, let's not forget, Facebook owns Instagram, right? Isn't it one of the biggest companies in the... So you can't say that the one platform that's actually proved with numbers, it's the best. But, you know, I'm not feeling it today. I mean, because if it's about business, it's not about how you feel. It's about what makes sense. And you definitely do want a bigger reach. When you're talking about you want people from baby showers to contact you, people on Facebook are the ones who are going through the baby shower process because of maybe even a certain age. Not unless you're saying you're going to baby showers, teenage pregnancies.
We're not doing that here.
Yes, you see. So if you think about it, like even with all the little things that you're mentioning, if you're talking about baby showers, those you'll definitely get on Facebook. And just all these other like women empowerment programs and stuff. Because just like last weekend, this is insane. I can't even believe I'm sharing this information.
Ooh.
Last weekend, when was International Women's Day?
It was last week.
Last week,
Yeah.
right? So I shot something for True Love magazine. Shout out to True Love.
Ooh.
They always contact me. So they brought all these amazing women entrepreneurs to this one setting at Lord Errol, and they were doing like just these talks about balance in life and everything. And my podcast is all about balance, about the 4 pillars of life. Do you know about the 4 pillars of life?
Happiness.
You're getting there.
Health.
Yeah.
Wealth. There's wealth in there.
Yeah.
Oh, love.
This woman is incredible. This woman is incredible. Yeah, so it's all about the 4 pillars of life. And like if you've noticed, like in the country, there's so many like women empowerment programs and events and stuff. And I think that's where even for you, Crumble&co would be perfect. I'm just trying to picture like if you were there that weekend and you had like little packages for Crumble&co.
It's okay.
Should I connect you with the True Love
I
peeps?
think you should,
I will,
if you don't mind.
No, I'll connect you with like the CEO, Carol.
Thank you.
Yeah, because
Oh my
I think
gosh.
she'd love what you do, and I think it's just for you doing something like promo related and stuff. Plus, they can
Send them a
put like send them a box.
Yes.
And who knows, like maybe a feature on True Love or something.
That would be amazing.
Okay, I got
See,
you.
this is what I'm talking about.
I
People
got
are
you.
so positive and ready
Yeah.
to help,
Mhm.
and I just think that is amazing.
But I started being that way when I started like doing my own thing, because I understood like as an entrepreneur it can be really hard. So anytime somebody offers like a helping hand or just even boosts you like or social media and tells you like, you know what, I like what you're doing,
Yeah,
shares, tags,
yeah.
anything. But I was gonna tag your cookies regardless, trust me, because it's the approach that you use. You know, there's some people who are like, I'm sending you this, but make sure you tag it before the event. And I'm like,
no.
So we're just driving sales now. Is this what we're doing? Like, okay. But yours is just organic and everything. So I think don't ignore any platforms,
Yeah.
especially if it's something you can have on your phone. And nowadays, even what you're sharing on Instagram can automatically just go to Facebook.
Okay.
What do you think
I'm
about
taking
that?
notes. I'm taking notes. I'm definitely. I'm gonna. Yeah, look into Facebook and
Put that
make my
into
first post after this. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'll give you a shout out.
Hey.
You really like high fives, don't you?
Oh, I do.
Okay,
I do.
so do
just
I.
shows we're on the same page. You're not ignoring me. Just nodding your head like.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, we're just talking a lot about your just brand new baby
Yeah.
company, and let me just ask, what was like? You said temp jobs.
Yeah.
What was like one of the like weirdest jobs that you've had to do, but you're like, you know what? I'll just do it, because I want to know where the spirit of an entrepreneur comes from, because I have like these crazy jobs that I've done before, and I was like, just apart from I've done like a lot
Really?
of, yeah.
Wow.
Apart from prostitution, I think I've done everything else.
Wow. Okay, that doesn't leave much then.
Yeah. So I'm just asking, like, what
Yeah.
are some like of the jobs that you think?
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
It hasn't
tell me.
been that interesting. The
Really?
most
been-
interesting I've done cocktail work behind a cocktail bar. That's been like the wildest job.
Okay, at night?
Yeah.
Is it like
at
close to
night.
bottle service?
No, I knew you were going with this.
No,
I saw
why?
your last one.
No, you saw the
I
post?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So it
I
was
knew-
interesting, but I know like that's like super huge, like
Yeah,
abroad, right?
really big, yeah.
And people make like crazy money from that. So
No, I've never done anything like that.
Oh, okay.
But what I have done is like the company I was working for, it was a pretty cool company.
Mhm.
They did like all these VIP events in London for like award ceremonies and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a little bit different to the norm.
Mhm.
And to like go in, have an interview, have like training sessions, and then it was great. Like you'd have an app and you just book your shifts and choose whatever you wanted, and you had to get selected for the shifts. So like I worked in really different hotels and at different nightclubs and stuff like that, but just literally behind the bar.
Did you make any? Because for me, I just believe in networking so strongly. Did you make any networks. We're like, well, if it's VIP events, because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Think about it this way. If you made contacts then, and you need like people to tag like something new to do with your company right now, how easy would that be for you?
Okay.
Did you, or at that time you're just like, no, let me just...
At that time, no, it's not even that. It's more like, no, don't do that. Yeah. They are very strict because you are dealing like with really VIP clients. For example,
that's why it's so important to
ladies, listen to this.
Yeah.
I met the guy from 50 Shades of Grey. Yes.
Do you exchange contacts at least?
Of course not.
Of course not. It's worth getting fired when you're doing that.
It's true, actually. It was also towards the end of my job. I should have considered that. Yeah. Like
for me, anybody who takes me somewhere, the one thing they should be scared about is my network game. My network game is crazy.
Oh, you're shameless.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't.
I talk to your boss, and then your boss tell you like, "Yo, go call that guy for me. Go call that guy for me. We need to go and talk about A, B, C, and D." But okay, I understand.
Yeah.
So nothing extreme, nothing crazy.
No, I'm pretty boring in that department. Yeah.
Okay.
Standard jobs.
Okay, since we know you've taken the law route as well, and you're gonna pursue it some more.
Yeah, I want
to. Where do you see like yourself being happy, like fully like doing the law thing plus the business, or what's like a major priority to you? Because I know like you can't tell your parents that, guys, I'm not the same way you talked about Facebook. I'm not feeling this law thing anymore. So where do you think you want to fall? Do you want to like both the law and cookie business to be at par and grow at the same?
I do. Right now my focus is my cookie business.
Yeah.
I'm currently still applying for jobs. And
what kind of jobs are you?
Legal jobs.
Legal jobs.
And I do want to...
In Kenya?
No.
Ooh. Ooh, she's like, no.
No. The reason for that is because of KSL.
Yeah.
And because of the way like university modules are done in England, I'd have to do a further 3 years here.
Yeah, but have you heard about KSL?
Have I heard about it?
Yeah, I mean, just, how hard it can be if you're moving from a different country and switching.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a student who did like something Cambridge, and they still couldn't practice their...
Yeah,
so
it's
you know
a
all
process.
about all those things?
I do. I've looked into it. I've spoken to different people who are doing it, and who to them, like people who come to England for university, and they're like, okay, Kenya is my end goal.
Oh, Suhan's brother.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that he's a lawyer?
No.
You didn't know like Suhan's bro is a lawyer?
No.
He is, and did his thing in Cambridge, and I don't know how he ended up. It was a little bit of a
trial and error kind of thing,
to fit in, but he finally partnered with some guys at
amazing
at Westlands. I can't remember the name, and I also met somebody who's like a partner in that firm actually. Even that's a person that you need to contact as well.
Yeah.
I'll share the information as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit difficult with Kenya, but if something happens and I'm able to work with KSL and do something and not have to go through it like for 3 years.
You don't need to. Just go do your thing there. You don't.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it's a lot. It's a whole lot of time.
I've done so much uni and so much school, and then I'm starting a business. I'm going back into uni. I'd rather just go back into a job.
How long have you been doing? How long have you been studying?
God, I've been studying since I was 2.5.
I mean like the uni.
The uni was 4 years.
4 years?
So I did 3 years undergrad degree and then 1 year postgrad diploma. Yeah.
So what's left now?
I'm done.
You're done?
Yeah, so I just need a job.
Oh, you need a job, and then you're going to go and do... Or when it comes to law, you have to do it for like how many years?
Well, in England, you have to have like, you have a first 2 years where you're like in training.
Yeah.
But you have a job, you're being paid for it.
Oh, you're getting money.
Yeah. You get your salary, and then after 2 years, you're a newly qualified solicitor.
She finally arrives.
Hi.
Finally.
How are you?
So, just give me 15 minutes. So, this was actually very convenient.
I know.
At least
I know, I saved you.
Yes. saved me so much. You have no idea. So I owe you a lot. If you ever need, like, I'll tell you what. You brought me the cookies, right?
Yes.
You've seen how I do like my nice stylish videos?
Yeah.
I'll do one for you.
Thank you.
For free.
Thank you so much.
No charging. No charges.
You are so kind, honestly. There we go.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. I mean, you just need that positive energy, and when you're working with people and everything. So we were talking about the law thing, right?
Yeah. I don't want to bore your viewers.
Before we were rudely interrupted.
Ooh.
I'm playing.
Yeah, and I don't want to bore your readers, but basically, then after 2 years you become a newly qualified solicitor, and that's when you're like.
What
qualified.
do you mean, bore my readers? My
viewers, sorry.
My viewers?
Yeah.
You should, I made a post about like the KSL thing. There was a whole controversy of how they're failing students.
Yeah.
Intentional. Oh, you know about that?
Yeah.
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 So I did a post. All these people like were just posting their comments and everything. One guy said that the friend tried to commit suicide because they come from a communal background and like people from the village had saved money to take him to school. So he kept on failing. And the guy was like, if I'm failing, I'm not just failing for myself.
Yeah.
I'm disappointing all these other people.
Gosh.
So it's very tricky.
It is very tricky, and it's sad because these things don't only happen in Kenya. Like you'd assume that in a country like England these things don't happen, but they happen in law schools there too. It's
even in the States, like I think 2 days ago there's something, some scandal for, you have to pay for this and that.
Gosh, it's a scary world sometimes.
Yeah, so, okay, but we've done the law talk, we've done the business talk. I'll tell you what, because my podcast always evolves around the 4 pillars of life.
Yeah.
So I'm going to touch on just like a few highlights and everything.
Okay.
Which is just standard for everyone. How's your love life?
My love life is fantastic.
Ooh, fantastic.
Yeah.
I haven't had that answer in a very long time.
Have you not?
I haven't.
Oh, well.
What you do? Are you in a relationship?
Yeah, I've been in a relationship. This is now my 4th year.
4th year?
Yeah. So heading on to marriage soon.
I need... marriage?
Okay, no, like a few years. Give me a few
years.
years.
You still don't take him that seriously?
Oh, no, I take him very seriously.
But how is it... Is he in the country or outside the country?
No, outside the country.
See, now that's why this is where it gets interesting. Because how do you do that? Because now we know like you're gonna be here for like the rest of the year probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's in a different country. But how do you guys manage to balance that?
16.
Is it hard?
Well, I've spent 3 years with him.
Yeah.
In England, and this is our 4th year apart. He was actually in Kenya for a whole month in December, and he left in January.
You go to Mombasa,
we
did the Watamu thing?
No, I'm not a Watamu girl.
Oh.
No.
Zanzibar?
Diani.
Yeah,
I'm a
okay.
Diani girl.
Okay.
And he was here for a month, and he left in January, and the initial part was extremely hard because we spent the last year together, like all the time, because we were both in the same city. We lived like 10 minutes apart kind of thing. I got so close to his parents because I was living in the same city as them. I know, and like when he left, like my whole world was just like,
how do you function? Because this is somebody that
I know. It takes time, and I think.
But how do you cope with that?
You just have to. I don't know. You just have to.
Yeah.
It's a simple answer. I know it's not the sugar-coated answer people wanted, but if you love that person enough, you will make it work. And if you trust that person enough, there will never be a doubt in your mind, and there'll never be what is this for kind of moment, because I know it's for our future, and we're going to make a future together. So to me, this is just a bump in our journey together, and it's not ideal. I would rather be with him.
Yeah.
But the fact that I'm in Kenya with my family...
There's just nothing you can do about it
I know,
right now.
But who I haven't lived with in 10 years. Like, I haven't lived with my family in 10 years, and I'm getting to do that, and I'm getting to start my own business. It helps.
It's quite a big adjustment, right?
It's a huge adjustment. I'm not going to lie and say it's the easiest thing, and everything's perfect. But once I think you find something that you're passionate about and you can fill your time with.
That's where like now like Crumble&co comes in.
Yeah, it helps. It really does help. And we FaceTime all the time. We talk on the phone all the time. Like, he has a job.
Yeah.
But I'm there, like, all the time.
Constantly just checking up
exactly.
on him.
And I think that does help.
And even with that, okay, so about when it comes to, like, relationships, like these long-distance relationships, because I've had it, like, from, was it Zuhan? Not her, I'm not sure whether it's her. I don't want to mention anyone, and then they're like,
Lord.
oh my God, I thought I was single. So who was it? Like, my guest yesterday, she was going through the same thing.
Yeah.
Because they used to live with a boyfriend and everything and stuff, but, you know, because of visa and everything, he had to go back to his country.
Yeah.
And he's actually planning to move actually here.
Wow.
But the thing is, like, our conversation was like, you know, you have to understand that when this person is coming here, when this person is coming to this country to move, they're actually leaving, like, their parents, their family, their friends, and everything for you. So you also have to understand, like, the emotional toll that like, if you just find him, like, gazing on the window and he's not smiling and it seems sad, even though he's happy being with you, like, there's so much more he's left behind.
Yeah, I think for me, it's a weird situation because I spent 9.5 years abroad.
Oh yeah, so it's only fair if he moves to Africa for 10 years, first of all.
Exactly.
It's only fair.
Exactly, but
plus the weather is better anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But for us, it's kind of like, if I were to go to England, that's already something that I'm used to. So when I'm saying, like, the 5 years in England, that wouldn't be something, obviously it would be a little bit difficult because, like, now my parents are older, or like, we're all moving on kind of thing, you know, that would be a bit like, but...
And have you noticed, like, how, like, you know, the older you grow, like, you start appreciating your parents more, because you're like,
you want to cry all the time.
Yeah,
like,
all the time. Like, it would be the smallest thing, and then you just look at them and you're like, I really do love my parents.
You've done this for me my whole life. And it's just been, like, nothing.
And you haven't even started, like, your first step of, like, maybe having a baby and actually taking care of them.
I know. I think at my wedding I'll be sobbing. I'll be like, I don't know how I'm going to leave you guys. I'll probably just be moving down the road.
Yeah. I can only imagine, because it's crazy. But you start appreciating them a little bit more differently. And even the way you're just saying, like, you're an adult right now, and your dad can still come and help you and put all these little things together. He still remembers you as that tiny little girl. That, you know, and even for him, I'm sure it's scary. Like, she's doing her own business. She's finished law. She's doing this and that.
And I'm the baby by, like, 8 years. So they thought they had time with me. And then now it's like...
Little did they know.
Little
did they know.
Yeah.
So we've touched on love.
Yes.
But I want to talk about just one more little thing before, you know, I let you go do your famous shit.
Thank you.
Because I know you have a lot of deliveries to do today, right?
I do.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'll just sort of, like, wrap it up. Do you do any physical exercises? Or how do you, like, maintain the... I don't want to say physique because I haven't seen, like, you know, No, I'm just saying that because I haven't seen you, like, all my other guests. Like, at least I get time to go through their Instagram and I'm like, oh, you post bikini pictures. How do you stay so fit and everything? Because, you know, for social, we can't ignore social media. This is where, like, even why people being told, like, to understand, like, be self-aware of who you are. Just like who you are. Because do you have any makeup on?
Tiny bit. Did my eyebrows.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, you see, like, those little things, how do you embrace that? And people who can't leave, like, their house without makeup.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, there's so many little things that cause depression right now, online and everything. But how do you just appreciate yourself just as a woman? Like, this is who I am. I don't need to do all the extra stuff. And I just love... And of course, for those who have to do, like, the makeup thing, they have their own reasons and everything that makes them happy. But how do you do your thing? How do you, like, just absorb that and face the day?
Yeah, well, I'm going to go back to my parents because they have been so instrumental in the person that I am today. I think from a young age, they've always instilled in me confidence. Be who you are, Samantha. Be happy with who you are. love yourself and, embrace yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that has always stuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
And also having amazing, fierce female friends.
Mm-hmm.
I have such an amazing group of friends who...
Feminists who hate men?
No, just feminists.
Okay.
We don't need to add that extra bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they uplift me, they love me, and I know they love me for who I am.
Yeah.
So I don't need to try and be anything that I'm not, or I don't need to feel like I have to put on this face or, be the perfect me.
And you also have to be very selective as you grow older with even people you just keep around, because their energy will translate to the kind of person you'll be.
I'm a huge believer in energy. Huge.
You see? And that's so important. A lot of people don't know that, but I would rather just stick to people who encourage, are happy for me when something is going on.
Biggest thing.
When you're going through bad things, you can actually talk to them about it as well. So that's very important.
Yeah.
To just keep your sanity with that. So you don't do any yoga stuff? Do you jog? Do you go to the gym? How do you take care of yourself?
I used to go to the gym because the gym was right at the end of my road in England. Yeah, very useful and convenient life. And then I came back to Kenya and I've done cheeky sessions, Kuruka sessions.
Yeah. Is it the
I've done it she does it on Saturdays.
What are they called?
Kuruka?
No, the name of the
wellness?
Aerobics and stuff. No.
Oh, like Zumba.
Zumba? Is it Zumba? She does Zumba, right?
It's not Zumba.
It's not?
Zumba, I think. Okay, maybe it is.
But how was that session?
Awful. Awful in that it killed me.
What, killed you?
I couldn't walk for 3 days.
I need to introduce you to somebody else. She does, but she does it at Yaya. Her name is Svetlana. I don't know whether you know her.
Oh yeah, I saw her on your page.
You need to check her out.
Really?
She has a Zumba page and she's always doing these sessions in some rooftop in Yaya Center.
Cool.
So you need, plus, here's the thing about her. Just read her title. Digital what?
Strategist. Very nice. Ooh,
so she's somebody that you'd be good friends with as well.
Amazing.
I linked her up with Concrete Roses, and they just brainstormed and everything. And I think that's really, it's just crazy, this network that should I be charging people for all these networks that I'm giving?
But after this.
After this, yeah. So, but when it comes to Fiji, because here's the thing as well, as you grow older, your metabolism slows, right?
Yeah.
You still want to work by the time, maybe let's say you're having a baby with your boyfriend or husband by then, when you're going for these parent and teacher things and you're racing, you're not running out of breath. You look like the cool mom. You want to be that, right?
I want to be the cool mom.
Yeah. You don't be like the old one you can't run, you're out of breath. And your kids are there shouting at you, Mom, 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 and you're still number last. Nobody wants that shit. So yeah, do you think, but have you thought about, do you always think about it, or maybe you're just too lazy to go to the gym, but I'm maybe I should start taking better care of myself?
At the beginning of the year I went running 3 times, and then I stopped. So honestly, I think I need to start, and I need to start taking it seriously. 3 times a week. Minimum, I need to do something.
Because you see, when it comes to the 4 pillars of life, it's all about that balance. Balance. So we've talked about exercise as well. It's just something most of us are aware of. Maybe I should start taking better care of myself. I should start eating well, especially when you're having a lot of sweet things to eat.
That's a funny thing. I actually don't really munch when I bake. Really? I'm very I
don't get high on your own supply?
I don't. I've said that quite a few times to people.
No, but I'm sure it's because you're trying it out and you've had enough.
Smell.
It's the same.
Yeah.
You
get fed up the smell.
Yeah. I understand that bit. I understand that bit. So just to finalize on the podcast, one more thing I have to ask from you is what's your ultimate pursuit of happiness? What's the one thing that you're trying to get right now, and if you manage to put these together, maybe it's the business, maybe it's you and boyfriend like now settling them down somewhere in an island. Maybe it's getting like a baby. Maybe it's like this low partnership that you want with this kind of company. What's that one thing that if you got it right now, it would kind of like give you like a sense of balance? You'd be somewhere and say like, I think from here I can just move like forward in a very slow and satisfying like kind of a feel.
Yeah.
What would that thing be?
I'm going to sound so cliche and people are going to really hate this.
No, nobody's going to hate
but
this.
I do find that waiting for something to happen to be happy isn't the best way to live your life. Isn't.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like if you're constantly waiting for one thing to be happy, you forget all the other things that are happening around you that should be making you happy.
True.
So I'm happy with where I am right now. But having said that, it's a mixture because I want Crumble&Co to be a viable business. I want to get a space in a bakery where it's a business that can run when I step out.
Yeah.
Or when I'm out of the country.
Yeah.
That's what I want. And then from then on, I want my legal side to start coming to life. I want it to just all be tied up in a nice, pretty present with a bow on top. I just want it to come together.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then somewhere down the line, marriage, kids. Yeah, it's a lifelong plan.
That's always a deep question, and I always keep quiet when somebody's answering that because it takes your thought to places where you didn't think they would go.
Yeah.
It's even the tone of your voice. It's changed. It's like, life. So yeah, guys, so thank you so much for coming through, delivering the cookies, and we just made it to a whole podcast session.
Yes.
I think we've done, let me see. I think we've actually done, this is a whole episode. It's an hour. We've done an hour.
Oh my God.
We've successfully done a whole podcast session.
Wow, thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you.
So, if there was any message that you'd give, like, let's say young women who, are trying to do their thing or trying to pursue or have lost even hope, they're like, this thing is just too hard, it's for a few selected people, what kind of message would you give them to just give them that drive?
Well, the first thing
and my apologies, I'm so sorry, that's a big problem. I'm working on it.
That's good.
And also for them just to be able to detach themselves from social media and be able to just get inspired instead of feeling depressed. Because somebody else maybe thought of starting a business company and then they see you and then they're like, oh my God, Samantha I was thinking about it, but Samantha is actually now doing it and pursuing it. And you just crush their dreams.
Well, I hope that hasn't happened.
But what kind of message would you give?
Well, first thing I'd say is believe in yourself. There's no one like you, and there will never be anyone like you. You've got something special, and whatever it is, you've got to share it with the world. The second thing I'd say is there's always going to be people who are going to have a similar idea to you or who are going to copy your idea. And the best thing to do is just focus on yourself, focus on what you are doing, and focus on making that better and better each day. Forget the haters, forget the people who have no imagination and want to keep copying you, and just focus on you and growing yourself and whatever it is that you want to do. And don't get caught up in the likes. This is about you or whatever it is that you're trying to grow or create. And remember that passion and remember why you began doing that. And that will help you, move away from the likes and the frivolous things that Instagram and social media have brought into our lives, but will actually help you remember why. So believe in yourselves.
Hey, I love this. So ladies and gentlemen, that was Samantha from Crumble&co, and I just can't wait to taste like what she has to offer. I mean, so make sure you follow her on. Where can people find you?
Well, Instagram. I've got my little email in there as well, and my number. It's like a cute little tag.
All the details on the bio?
yeah, all the details on the buy-in, all the details are in there as well. If you want to just flash that to people afterwards.
So where on Instagram?
You want the tag name?
Yeah. Because there's an
That took a
iTunes version as well. I'm doing iTunes, and so this is for YouTube and
Okay,
iTunes.
so it's Crumble, which is CRUMBL_CO. That's the name.
That's the tag on Instagram.
Yeah.
So make sure you follow Crumble&co on Instagram. I mean, she's working on Facebook. Hopefully she'll be on Facebook as well. But she has like this amazing cookie business going on, and I mean, she just reached out to me, and it was just an organic conversation, and we've turned it to a podcast, and we've talked about so much more. And you see, she's an actual lawyer. You know how many women lawyers that I have on my team right now if somebody tried to do anything to me. Thank you so much, Samantha.
Thank you.
And I wish you nothing but the best in your business and just your life pursuit.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, the Kisscapades Podcast, Facebook, the Kisscapades Podcast, Snapchat, the Kisscapades Podcast, and make sure you hit that subscribe button because it matters a lot. Thank you, and see you in another episode.
Bye. Thank you. That was amazing.
How's that?
Really good.